What's up, Kookz? Today we are going to teach you how to install a fan. It's a lot easier than you think it would be. I know this is a very intimidating step. Usually it's the first time you'll be cutting into your new van. So don't be scared. We show you how to do it. We show you all the tips and tricks along the way. So let's get into it, Kookz. Welcome back to the build series, you Kookz. Today we are going to be showing you how to put in your Maxx Air fan, and we're going to keep it really simple. We're going to line up all the tools that you need for this project. So what we did here is we first created a nice little template to work with. So you get your insert piece and you trace this and you'll make a template, and that will be going on the van to figure out where you need to put your pilot holes on each corner. And to do the pilot holes, you'll need a small drill bit to put the pilot hole, and then you'll need a bigger drill bit so that you can fit your metal blade on your jigsaw through that hole. You'll need a drill, and you'll need a file, you'll need some safety glasses, you'll need some paint to cover up that new hole that you just cut out so it doesn't rust, and you will need some lap sealant as well as some butyl tape. Alright, first order of business is you're going to want to take that template and you're going to want to figure out where you're going to put your fan, and that'll be very dependent on what kind of solar panels you're going to put up there. So we're going to start with this fan, and the Transit isn't as accommodating as the Sprinter. The Sprinter has a little inset that's perfect to cut out the fan. So on the Transit you have to be really careful and make sure that you have enough space on each side for the screws to go in. So we're doing it from the underside first. So we traced it here to make sure that that will fit in between all the ribs. We're going to drill some pilot holes in these corners and then get up on top of the roof, put our template down, and then trace it again up there and then cut it out. So we're going to mark this on the inside and we're going to drill our pilot holes, and then we're going to retrace it on the top just because we're working with so little space. The Transits don't give you as much room as the Sprinters, so we really have to be careful on this.
Alright, so it's always a bit nerve-wracking when you're popping that first hole in your van, but if you thought it through and traced your stencils correctly, you should have no worries. And plenty of Kookz have done this before you, so don't sweat it. So I'm going to pop the pilot hole, and then we're going to put some bigger ones in. Also, since I am drilling up, most times always be wearing safety glasses if you're dealing with power tools and metal shavings or wood and sawdust. So let's get into it. I'm going to pop this hole, so here we go.
Hole number one.
Daylight. So also when you're buying a drill bit, I got this Milwaukee titanium, and it has this little poke on the top. It's like a pointed edge, and it really helps for drilling through the steel. It helps kind of create a little pilot hole, and then it punches through nice. So get a nice drill bit if you're going to be building a van, because you're going to have to drill through some metal. Now we got our pilot hole. We're going to go through with a bigger drill bit.
Show it in the...
And make a new hole so we can get our saw blade in there.
Since Kevin drilled those pilot holes, we're going to line our stencil up with the corners of the pilot holes because he said they were perfect. So that goes on that corner, that goes on that corner, that goes there. And we're going to retrace it on this tape, and then we're going to start drilling. We're going to start jigging. Get jiggy with it. Okay, so we got a fast metal blade in this jig, and we also tape it because you don't want to scratch your metal up top here all more than it already may have. So you don't want to create any more scratches that you have to deal with. All right, let's do it. And I'm going to take this line, so I don't want any of the line left. So sometimes when you get to these corners where you've drilled your pilot holes out, it's going to be hard to turn it. So I go to the end of the hole, and then I pull it out, and then I start jigging again. So that's just to make it a little easier so you don't go too far past your hole. Done. Like butter. We're going to take all this tape off, and we're going to get our file, and we're going to file it, and then we're going to do a little clear coat Rust-Oleum just to protect that paint, and then we're going to start putting the butyl tape down and getting it going.
So now I got my file here. I'm just going to hit these edges. Take any rough pieces off the edges, And then we're gonna do a little primer around there, and then we're gonna start putting the fan in.
And you gotta vacuum up all of this little metal shavings because it'll get rusty. We've neglected that step before, and then you get little rust balls everywhere. So we're just gonna spray the edges here so that they don't rust. We got a little clear coat, so it doesn't really matter if some overspray. And Kevin's got the inside. So now we're gonna get this butyl tape. See, it has this one stick side and it's kind of gummy. So this is gonna level out any weird spots. You can see how it kind of comes up a little there. So it's just gonna make it so it's a level surface so that no water can get in. All right, so we got this butyl tape on here, and now we are going to put our gasket in, and then we're going to put the fan in.
And on the Maxx Air, just make sure you got these holes, these brackets on the side, because that's kind of how it all attaches together. So Danny's gonna push it on, give it a good firm push down.
Yeah.
And now we get a small little drill bit, and we're just gonna pre-drill these holes to make life easier.
So now that we have all of our pilot holes drilled, we're just gonna start sinking these screws in and get it secured. So now that I have the butyl tape on there, I'm just going to put some lap sealant around all the sides and around all of these screws. Around all these screws to make sure that those are also watertight.
All right, so we got the lap sealant on from the roof. I think it's very important to hit it on the inside. So I'm gonna do it along the edge here and then do it around these screws. It's not gonna look too pretty, but you're not gonna see it, so I'm gonna seal this up. I got it all sealed up. You can see there, it looks pretty decent actually, and just in case, you know, water comes through, you wanna do it through the top. So the fan is pretty much installed. It looks amazing.
All right, Kookz. Hopefully you have the confidence to get out there and put in your fan after watching this video. Just make sure, like we told you, to lap sealant everything, every piece where water may get in. We did have rain for an entire month, and with all this self-leveling lap sealant, it kept all the rain out. So no leaks, so we are good to go with the fan. All right, Kookz. Hopefully you have the confidence to get out there and put in your fan after watching this video. Just make sure, like we told you, to lap sealant everything, every piece where water may get in. We did have rain for an entire month, and with all this self-leveling lap sealant, it kept all the rain out. So no leaks, so we are good to go with the fan.